Hey there Facebook Live, it's Vanessa here, motivational speaker and head coach at Live, Love, Give. And again, I am just so excited to be here with you guys. I've got an awesome message that for some reason, this message has been presenting itself to me, in my own life, my own personal life, but also with each person that I end up talking to recently. I've been getting on these awesome calls with people, and it's been incredible to me that, we're just sort of seeing the same patterns come up over and over again. Awesome to have you here, Elliot and Moyne. Thank you so much. And today I'm really going to talk into when the easy path turns out to be the hard path. And I believe that each of us can, look back into moments in our life where we can actually see where we tried to take what we thought to be the easy path, and it turned out to be the hardest path ever. And I'm really excited to have you guys here. Oi, hi, nice to meet you. Nice to see you, Tom. Awesome to have you here. And so what I want to bring that message to you guys about is because why is it that we want to, we want to take that easy path, and often the easy path is when we become the follower. We don't lead. We make that person who's got the loudest voice, who seems to have the most certainty. We follow what they say, and we follow that until we reach a point where we realize, hey, I'm not feeling that great about this. This is not me. I'm not feeling authentic. And awesome to see you here, PJ. Thank you for joining from New Zealand. That's awesome. Tom, do what's easy and your life will be hard. Do what's hard and your life will be easy. Yes. Definitely. For those of you guys out there who don't know Tom, you better check out his stuff. He's one incredible guy who's doing some amazing, inspiring work. So definitely check his stuff out. And couldn't agree more with you there, Tom. Because so many of us, I was speaking to this most incredible man this morning who had just a heart of gold, and he was so open with me and so honest with me about his current struggles that have been going on for a long period of time. And I could see, I asked him a couple of questions about, how would life be if you didn't make the changes that you're being called to make? If you didn't make them now, where would you be in 5 years? And he started talking into, the people around him, where they would be. And I had to sort of stop him and get him to refocus and be the leader in his own life and identify what would life be like for him if he didn't make these changes. Because so many of us, we look to the external to guide us, to make our decisions, to follow, and we think we're taking the easier path. We think, well, they know what they want, let's do that. Oh, they want to get married, or oh, they want to have children, or yeah, they want to, go and live at this place, or they want to, go on this particular journey. And we go on that journey with them without identifying what we want to do, and we go for the easy way out, and we just follow suit until we hit the path of pain, when we recognize that that pain is actually coming from the fact that we didn't do the work to discover what we really wanted, and we ended up on this path, in this relationship, on this journey, in this different place, in this career, with this set of health results that we didn't actually want, but at the time we didn't do the work necessary to identify that we didn't want it, and so we ended up on what I like to call the hard path. Awesome to have you here again, Yvette. Thank you so much. Elliot, anything worth having is worth the work it takes to attain it. So true. And awesome to have you here, Sarah. Thank you. Yes, so true, Elliot. But most of us, we want to take that easy route, don't we? Whatever's the path of least resistance at the time, it's human nature that we go for that. And it takes experience. It takes often that experience of pain, either in your own life or hearing the story and the journey of another, that inspires you, that helps you to take the time now to do the work to attain what you really want, rather than being a follower. So I guess my message today for you guys is to step up and be a leader. And I want to bring it back again to this story of this amazing man that I met this morning. And, he allowed me into his world about his challenges right now. And one of the things that has prevented him from leaving an unfulfilling relationship was the children. And I'm not, so I'm, I don't think any of us are surprised that that can often be a reason why people stay in unfulfilling relationships. But ultimately, my advice to him, or my perspective that I wanted to share with him to just trigger his thoughts, was that the greatest gift that you can ever give to your children is the possibility of creating a magnificent relationship. One that is, show them what is possible. Teach them to not settle. Teach them to love your family, but, and not stay trapped in a relationship that is no longer serving you. Love that person, work with that person. But, a great woman, if you haven't heard of her, Catherine Woodward Thomas, who I've had the great pleasure of meeting and interviewing a couple of times, and read her work and love what she's about. And you might have heard of her. She's the woman who came up with the concept of consciously uncoupling, and which was made famous by Gwyneth Paltrow a couple of years ago when she, had her divorce. And that is just a phenomenal story. If you haven't heard of Catherine Woodward Thomas, I challenge you to Google her and check out her story. She's a beautiful human being, and I love her concepts that, a breakdown of relationship doesn't have to be a negative thing. I truly believe that it can be one of the most positive experiences that you've ever had. And I believe that because there are lessons to be learned, and you can build your relationship with self. Why are you sacrificing your truth because of your perceptions around other people being hurt, not being able to look after themselves, fend for themselves? Ultimately, that is not sending a great message to anybody that you choose to be a role model for in your life. And we have great best intentions. It's part of human nature, that we kind of sacrifice ourselves for our loved ones because it makes us happy to make them happy. But at the end of the day, you're never ever going to make anybody happy when you're not filling yourself up and you're happy. We can all sense it. So that was my challenge, and I hope that was valuable. And Z, awesome. Yep, I'm preaching it, sister. And Eleanor, nice to have you. And Chloe, thank you so much. I'll just quickly scroll. Oh, Shane, awesome. Good to see another video. Thank you so much, Shane. I appreciate your support. Awesome, Jen. I'm glad that this advice has come to you at the right time. I really appreciate hearing that. And guys, drop any of your questions in the comments below. Comments, whatever you want. I would absolutely love to help tackle and bring some sort of fresh perspective. And I love working on the fly, so that's why I love these live videos so much. And one other thing that I want to bring to you is, hey, Alona, thank you for joining. And I don't think I said your name right, but I'm sorry about that. But one other example that I want to bring to you guys is so many times when we actually start to tap into the truth about what the right decision is, what that right decision to make is, our minds come up with the most insignificant worries, concerns, details like, oh, but it's going to cost money, or I don't know how this person's going to handle it, or whatever it is. Usually you'll find all of these like little limiting beliefs that in the whole scheme of things really don't matter, and they're what are preventing us from making the right decision that we know to our core to be the right one. So I challenge you to look at your excuses. If you have a knowing that you're trapped in any area of life, whether it be a relationship, a career, you're running poor patterns in your health and your finances, I challenge you to look at your excuses, and that is where your roadblocks are. And if you look at them, and maybe it takes you getting some sort of fresh perspective, that's why I open up these calls and I jump on these calls with you guys, and I spend my time to help you in that moment. I do it because I truly believe, and I know that sometimes we're just missing that simple perspective that when we're in the thick of it, we totally miss. And it so is helpful to get that fresh perspective from somebody who's outside of it, who's looking over and looking in and has your best interests at heart. So definitely jump on one of those calls with me if you haven't already. And Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Elliot. I love that you're here with me every day. I truly appreciate you. I love seeing you guys come back. It makes me feel like I'm adding some value to you, and you know, that's what lights me up more than anything in this world. So I appreciate that. And Jeremy, what helped you to finally step out of your comfort zone into your greater purpose? Awesome question. Thank you so much for asking that, Jeremy. What helped me was getting outside of my current environment. So this is the very reason why I love live events. I love, you know, going somewhere, going to, you know, at the time I was on a 5-day motivational retreat, which was with Tony Robbins, my absolute mentor. You guys know I'm always speaking so highly of Tony, and it was getting outside of my current environment into an environment of people who had such positivity, they had such love. They weren't the kind of people who would bring you down. They were the kind of people who were excited, they were growing, they were progressing, and they wanted you to come on this journey with them. And getting in an environment like that is just phenomenal. It helps you up level and get out of the surface level worries and concerns that we have in our mundane lives, you know, when we're just living life at a mediocre level, you know. So getting outside of that environment helped me. And then it was asking myself quality questions. And I was forced into a position at those live events. You're doing about a year's worth of personal development in 5 days. So it is seriously intense. You're there at 8, you're not leaving till 2 a.m. You barely have time to sleep. You're too juiced, you're too excited for life because you're tapping into the meaning of it. And I was put in a position where I was forced to ask myself the kind of questions that got me thinking and got me moving. And if you'd like help with some sort of questions that could help you there, but it is a journey, and I really believe that we are constantly evolving and growing. I hate to see people get trapped in thinking that there's one purpose for them, and they're trying to search for just this one thing, and it completely stops them in their tracks, and they can't take action because they feel like there's something wrong with them. They haven't discovered what that purpose is. And what I say to you is make your purpose tap into growing who you really are, like consistently uncovering a new layer of consciousness around who you are, what you want, and building that confidence and that courage to go after it. If you make that your purpose in life, you will always be growing. You will always be attracting extraordinary individuals. You'll always feel like you're tapping more into that fulfillment. And, you know, I really do believe that once you start on that journey, you start gaining incredible tools that you can't wait to share with other people. And that's where your sense of contribution comes from. And yeah, I hope that's helped, Jeremy. I could go on forever about that stuff. I know we're going to jump on a call next week, I think. So I can't wait to talk more into that with you. And Josia, thank you so much. I'm glad that this has been valuable to you. And Jayothika, nice to have you back again. I love having you here. Always makes me smile to see you pop up on my live feeds. And guys, do you have any questions? Are there any other things that are on top of your mind at the moment in terms of anything that you're really thinking about? Yes, hi Laval. Sorry, I'm so bad with just pronouncing all these names that I haven't ever seen before. So bear with me if I get your name wrong. Love to have you guys here. And yeah, are there any other questions? You know, I really just wanted to bring this message of strength and courage to you guys. I want you to stop, like build some consciousness around the idea that you might have been on the easy path. You know, you've been following other people, letting other people make the decisions for you, but now you've reached a time of pain. And I challenge you to start doing the work now, because I'm telling you now, that easy path that's becoming the hard path is only going to get harder. It's only going to be when you break up, when you wake up, you know, and you break through and you actually take ownership and responsibility for where you are in life and the current set of results, and you decide there is a better future for yourself and you're willing to do whatever it takes to move in that direction. That, my friend, is when life truly begins. So I wish nothing more than that. Like, that is probably the best gift I think that any of us can have. So I'm so glad that sun died down a little bit. And Jayothika, thank you for your question. How can I believe in myself and do what I want to do? Yes, okay, so belief in self. My experience has been I'm always doubting myself when I'm unclear about what my values are, who I really am, who is the highest version of myself, and I'm not clear on creating a future, a compelling future for myself that I am aligning with. So I find that we lack that self-belief when we're not listening to ourselves. We're not trusting ourselves. So my challenge to you is to start doing whatever you can to tap into that inner voice. A great method, which you may or may not have started already, is a journaling practice. So Jayothika, let me know, do you do some journaling? Is that something that has been valuable to you if you have? And I would challenge you to start, asking yourself some questions. A couple of questions that I gave to a wonderful person that I jumped on a call with this morning was to add to the journaling practice was what was it? It was why do I trust myself? And why do I believe I can handle any challenge? And when you can start to answer those type of questions to generate those pieces of courage, those answers, if you commit, I challenge you to commit to doing that. Jayothika, you said you haven't done any journaling. Okay, my challenge to you and anybody else out there who wants to build their self-belief and start tapping into that, I challenge you for the next 7 days, starting tomorrow morning, set yourself up a journal, a notepad, a piece of paper, whatever. Don't let that get in the way. I want you to ask yourself two questions. Firstly, why do I choose to trust and believe in myself? And the second question, why do I believe that I can handle any challenge life throws my way? Now, when you tap into answering these two questions each and every day, I guarantee you, if you really give yourself a rating right now before you start the process tonight, give yourself a rating from 0 to 10. How much belief do you have within yourself? 0 meaning none at all. I do not believe in myself. Why would I believe in myself? And 10, nobody's at a 10. You're always striving. I can't handle putting a 10 anywhere. I always want to grow. I always want that little room, that wiggle room to grow to that next level. So, 9, 10s sort of being, totally believe in myself, totally centered. I'm on track. I'm on path. I'm going for it. Okay. And I want you to give that rating to yourself right now. Maybe hit me in the comments. What rating out of 0 to 10, how much do you currently believe in yourself? And then I want you to start your journaling with those two questions. I'll write them in the comments after I get off this live with you guys. And I want you to answer those two questions every single morning. If you have to get up 5 minutes earlier, do it. And I want you to do it for 7 days. And then at the end of that 7 days, I want you to give yourself another rating from 0 to 10 about how much you're believing in yourself. And I would absolutely love to hear from you guys. So make sure that you keep me in the loop. Reach out, send me a message. Hit me up on my Facebook Live and let me know how you're finding that process. And let me just scroll up here because I did see there was a couple of questions. Stephanie, how can I find a career that I will enjoy when I don't feel a real pull towards any of them in particular? Another phenomenal question. You guys rock. I absolutely love the questions that you guys shoot out to me. So Stephanie, this is a great one, and I really believe that it's not necessarily focusing on the career as such. It's actually tapping into what are your key strengths. And I do have a process which is identifying your unique genius, and it taps into how each of us our brains are wired based on personality psychology. And I love this process because it helps people to identify what their absolute key strengths and what their genius is as an individual. And that's how you filter the process. So you don't go external career inwards. You go, what are my key strengths? What puts me in flow? What energizes me? And most of us don't actually know that because we haven't experienced it, and that's why this tool can really serve and help you. So if that's helpful at all, reach out to me and I'd love to introduce you to that framework and that model. But yes, Stephanie, I would say you've got to tap into what you are really aligned with. What are your key strengths? What juices you up? Create a list. Just brain dump it, journal about it. It's a process. Experience things, try things out. And if you want a little bit of extra guidance with that, definitely lock in one of my 15-minute power sessions and I'll get more information from you and see how I can best serve you. All right, thank you so much. I hope that was valuable. If anything's unclear, make sure that you guys ask me. That's what I'm here for. And hi Yan, awesome to have you. And Bianca, thank you so much for sharing that you're currently sitting at a 4 in that level of self-belief. And you know why I'm so proud of you for owning that, and being real and honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, if we lie to ourselves, if we tell ourselves we're in a different place, if we see it better than it is, or even when we see it way worse than it is, we can't pinpoint where we are on that map, and therefore we can't ever get to where we want to get to because we don't know where we are. Think about it as a map where you're pinpointing with that 4, Bianca, you're pinpointing exactly on that map of self-belief exactly where you are right now. And then you've got to identify, what does that 10 look like? What does it look like? What would it look like? How would I feel? What would I experience? You identify what that looks like, then you have the power to close the gap and get somewhere. So you're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate your openness and your honesty. And Yen, touch my heart. Thank you so much. And Robin, awesome to have you. And Stephanie, lovely to have you as well. And Adrian, awesome. Stephanie, I feel like I have done jobs that I'm good at, but I haven't loved. Yep, definitely. And but that's part of the reason why so many of us, we live in this realm, this age of entrepreneurship, and we can sort of create our own path. And that's why so many people are unfulfilled in their jobs. So they start identifying what it is that they're really good at and starting to move in that direction. It's not for everybody. But yeah, Stephanie, I think we should jump on a call and I'm going to help you with that. So reach out and book in. I'll put a link, just book in a session with me and we'll definitely have a chat together about that. Zane, nice to have you. And Helen, thank you for joining. You're telling me, Helen, I lack energy. This is something that I absolutely love, and I came from the health and fitness, from a health and fitness background. It was always my passion. I loved it, and I was very focused on gaining energy, through physiology, right? Through the body, through how you're nourishing your body. And I do believe that there is a huge element of that. But what I've actually discovered over the last couple of years, in particular, with a lot of studies that I've been doing into personality psychology in particular, has been that, that energy comes from you being in flow, you tapping into your strengths. There is, for each of us, we have this flow state that we can identify. And it's the very reason why I love getting on these Facebook lives with you guys. The last couple of days to be honest, I haven't felt great within myself, and you can read a post that I put out on Facebook this morning to get a little bit more detail about why that was. But ultimately, getting on these Facebook lives over the last couple of days when I was feeling a bit anxious within myself and I was lacking a bit of energy, I got on these and oh my God, I was just so pumped, so energized. And that's because, part of my flow state and part of my genius is, and regarding the personality psychology model that I'm speaking about, part of that is the interaction between people. So there are a couple of different processes that, when intertwined for myself, give me that energy, that vibrance that has nothing to do with anything other than that I've tapped into my passion, my flow, my authenticity, and there is nothing that will give you more energy than that. But yeah, for me, personally, it's something that combines, interaction with other incredible people just like yourselves, combined with talking about how our minds work, like talking about self-development, you know, how we can grow, improve, and seeing the potential in others and helping them to unlock that, believe in themselves. So that's what juices me more than anything. And Helen, my message to you is that you do have a flow state like we all do. You just haven't found it yet. And I would love to help you with that, Helen. So make sure that you book in a 15-minute power session. I'll help guide you with that and see how I can best serve you. Awesome to have you, Greg. And yeah, Helen, I hope that that was in some way valuable to you. And Jan, yes, aligning with like-minded people is key. So true, because, you know, when we're not in alignment in any of our relationships, they drain our energy, you know, it's always a push. But when you find those people who are in total alignment, who want to encourage and support you to be your highest self, and you know, you're in that alignment together, you energize each other, you bring each other up. When one of you is not feeling great, you know, the energy of the other can bring you up and energize you. So I love that comment, Jen, totally agree. And Dex, awesome to have you. And Shalendra, awesome to have you as well. I'm glad that this message is valuable to you. And guys, again, drop any comments. If I missed something, just let me know. But yeah, I hope that this message today has been valuable to you. I really hope that you are building that consciousness around what easy paths you're taking in life, and that are becoming those sort of hard, challenging paths, and recognize that you are the one who holds the power to break yourself free of that trap. And the sooner you do it, the better. What is that quote? You guys will tell me out there. You know, the best time to plant an oak tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. I think it's a Chinese proverb, but you guys let me know if I'm wrong there. And, you know, it's so true. Like, now is the time to do it. There is no time like now to confront where you've been taking that easy path and challenge yourself to get that relationship with self. Know who you are, identify it, uncover it, experience. Know what you want, create that compelling future for yourself, and build that consciousness and that courage to break through, to get off that easy path that's turned into the hard path and start living in alignment. Matthew, nice to have you. Is there any way you can help me to losing weight? Definitely, Matthew. The way that I help people with that issue around their weight, I start with mindset. I start with relationship with self, because my belief is that there is all the knowledge you need in the world out there. It's always available. We all know if you eat clean, healthy, organic, whole foods, and you don't overeat, and you exercise, you drink lots of water, you get lots of sleep, you de-stress, all those things. We all know this stuff, right? But why is it that we don't follow through, or maybe we start getting results and then we stop? It's because of the mindset, and it's always because of that relationship with self. Once you start tapping into who you really are and valuing who you really are, I'm telling you, my friends, it starts flowing. You instantly want to just take those steps forward in looking after yourself, because you value and love yourself. And that is a beautiful journey, and one that I love helping people with. A wonderful woman that I spoke to a couple of times, and we had a couple of coaching calls. She just a couple of days ago called me, and she let me know that she's dropped 6 dress sizes in the last 2 months, and I'm so super proud of her. If she's listening, you know who you are. I'm super proud of you. And it's all stemming from having those drivers, having that leverage behind why you want to lose that weight, and starting to work on yourself, your relationship with self, and valuing yourself. So yeah, Matthew, if you'd like some help with that, definitely book in one of those power sessions with me. See how we can work together there, and I would love to take you on that journey for sure. And Phil, nice to have you. And Jyothika, alignment is so important, otherwise one gets drained. Totally. And my real belief is that when we are not living congruently, the universe conspires to stop us in our tracks. It purposely makes life hard for us because it's trying to wake us up so that we get off the wrong path and we do the work to step onto identifying what the correct path is for us, identifying, experiencing, moving in that direction. And when you do, when you start tapping into that alignment, you start living congruently, the world rewards you. Life becomes a lot easier. Things start showing up on that path that help and support you. People start supporting you, and that's definitely been my experience, particularly over the last couple of months. You guys have been phenomenal to me. You know, it's taken me a lot of courage to step up and just go for it and stop holding myself back. And I've been doing it. And you guys, you know, every single day, I feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for all of you out there who take time out of your day to engage in my content, to reach out to me and send me, honestly, it could make me cry, because your messages have been so beautiful, and they mean the world to me. So I really appreciate you guys, and I hope I'm not getting too emotional here. I love you guys so much, and that's how much you guys are meaning to me. And I love the beauty of humanity. I love when we can, you know, really bask in the light of others and encourage others. And that's what I see. I love seeing the potential and us all stepping into that higher potential of ourselves and encouraging and supporting and bringing each other up together. So I love that. Thank you so much, guys. And yeah, Matthew, reach out to me, book in one of those sessions, and we'll definitely jump on. And yeah, top of the morning to you too, Adrian. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jen. I'm so grateful for you to be here and joining me. So thank you so much. And guys, do you have any last questions? Again, my videos, yeah, they just keep jumping longer and longer and longer. And I guess it's because my purpose here is to engage with you guys, to meet you where you're at, to be available to you, to give you some sort of inspiration or fresh perspective or whatever. I just want to help and serve in any way that I can. So when you guys send those questions or give me those comments, that feedback, whatever, I just want to help and serve you. And you guys are wonderful. You know, you really make my day. And thank you so much. And I guess I'll start tying this off now. Matthew, I will put a link in this video once I'm off, and you can just click the link, select a time that suits you best, and book in that session, and we'll get on a Skype call, we'll get on a video call, and we'll have a chat, and we'll see how best I can serve you where you're currently at. So awesome for that. And guys, I've just loved, as always, being here with you, sharing this time with you, connecting with you, engaging with you, answering all of these questions that you have. And I hope that today's message has been inspiring to you. I hope that it encourages you to take more ownership, empower yourself, to step more fully into making the best decisions that you can for yourself and your future, and creating that compelling future. And I will say goodbye. Oh, one last thing just popped up. Shane, I think one of the most important things that one can realize is that they control the mental focus of their mind. When we do it, it empowers us. So very true, Shane. And that was definitely my journey when I transitioned from health and fitness into really coaching and helping people on that mindset journey, because I do believe when you get the mindset right, the relationship with the self right, you get a clear, compelling future that you're totally aligned with and congruent with, and you build that courage and you go for it, life takes off, and that's where it really begins. So thank you so much for sharing that, Shane. Totally agree. Appreciate your comments, and thank you so much, guys, for being here. Loved every minute of it. And any questions that you want me to answer on upcoming Facebook Lives and you're not sure if you're going to be on live with me, just shoot me a message or comment below. I'll happily answer it on the next Facebook Live. And I can't wait to see you guys all again tomorrow. Lots and lots and lots of love and light and gratitude to you all. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me.